It's my pleasure to bring to the stage someone that performs regularly, telling stories and comedy all around the LA area, Mr. Matt Rickett.
Keep it going, ladies and gentlemen, for your host, your wonderful host, and for Josh and Mike and everybody who put this show together, for letting us into their beautiful home, a nice backyard. Isn't this a gorgeous evening? This is beautiful. They have a dog bed. Like, they have a dog bed. And the dog hasn't even been using the dog bed. I don't even know if he can make it over there. Can he walk farther than 3 feet? He looks like he's 100 years old. You're not even using the beanbag, people. If you were to take that dog, put it in your arms, go into that beanbag, you would die because that is heaven. That is heaven on earth right there. That dog in that beanbag is glorious. And that person just woke up from the hammock. He was asleep the whole time. Welcome to the show, sir. I'm the first act. We got another 2 hours. We waited for you. This is all for you. But no, you guys are wonderful people for sticking out here and coming on out all the way to wherever we are in LA. Never been out here. These were great stories. So I remember my story of the summer is about the first day of summer. The first day of summer when I'm going into my freshman year of high school. So 8th grade to freshman year of high school. The first day of summer, when that bell rings and the school is over, that's like a shot of cocaine for a 12-year-old boy. It is like invincibility times 1,000. You do not see anything other than what is happening right now. There is no future. It is like, right now, everything is amazing. And that's what it was for that whole day. Because it was an amazing day. I had 4 friends. I had 4 friends then. Well, I mean, I had 3. I was the 4th one. It was me, Matt. And there's Joe, Mike, and James. And the 4 of us were like a bunch of jackasses who thought we were cool. We knew we were a bunch of idiots. We knew we were a bunch of idiots, but we thought we were the shit. And that they were the first people that I remember thinking, hey, these guys are funny. They were like the first people that were like, oh, you're funny too. No way, okay, cool. So we hung out a lot, and we were just a bunch of dicks. Like most 12-year-old boys. They're all dicks in their own way. So we're hanging out. It's the last day of school. It's the first day of summer. And we're at James's house. And James has a finished basement. And so it's obviously the place to go. Because that's where you can just get away from all the fucking establishment, man. Get away from those parents down the subterranean layer where there's no sunlight and you just play video games and eat chips all day. That is a 12-year-old's dream. So that's where we are. We're down there. And in addition to not having to deal with parents, boobs are the number 2 priority to a 12-year-old boy. And James had an older sister named Sam. And Sam was 16. And that immediately put her in, like, that awesome range where, like, she wasn't out of reach, even though she really was. Like, she wasn't out of reach because she wasn't 18, but then she wasn't too within reach because she wasn't under 14. And so it was, like, this awesome little, like, stratosphere of hotness and also reachability that drove us wild. We loved her sister, I mean his sister, more than we loved being with him, probably. So it's the last day of school, first day of summer, and we're feeling ultra confident. And so we're down in James' basement, we're playing games or something, we're distracting ourselves somewhere or another. And Mike disappears. I'm like, oh, where'd Mike go? This is weird. Because Mike's a sly guy. Mike's a little devil. You know he's up to some shit when he just leaves. You're like, okay, well, fuck. We gotta do this now. And then Joe disappears, too. I was like, okay. Joe clearly caught on to whatever scent Mike was laying down. He has followed him to wherever shenanigans are about to happen. So I leave, too. And James, I don't know what the fuck James was thinking, but it took him forever to catch on to what was about to happen. Like, he came in so late, it would have completely changed the entire situation if James had been like, hey, what's everybody doing? But instead, he was enthralled in a video game the whole time. So I go upstairs, leaving James behind in his own basement, and I see Mike and Joe are convincing James's hot older sister Sam to flash them. They are in the process of being like, come on. Just do it once. 1 second. Come on. You don't even have to take your bra off. Come on. And she's like, no. No. You're a retard. No. This is absurd. Absolutely not. But she had a friend there. And we had infinite balls because it was the first day of summer. And we just finished middle school, which is like hell on earth for a 12-year-old boy. So Mike takes out his wallet, pulls out like his entire allowance for the week, and then puts it on the counter. It's like $15. Bam! What now, Sam? She says, no. Obviously not. No. So Joe takes out like a crumpled handful of just dollars and just unfurls all of them, puts down like $7 and like 3 cents. I'm like, come on, Sam. That's like at least 3 Subway footlongs right there. That's amazing. That is a fortune when you're like 12, but nothing when you're 16 and you have a part-time job in a car. So then me, trying to get in on this racket, I take out the only thing I have in my pockets, a $5 gift certificate to Hollywood Video, and just throw that on the table. So at this point, she could easily pay off all of her late fees and then rent like a new video that just came out. She could get like Mission Impossible 2 for almost a week with this set of cash. And somehow, in some weird way, between her friend and the pile of what is not a lot of money, and clearly just falling in love with the fact that 3 dudes really wanted to see her tits, it worked! It worked! She showed us her glorious boobs, and God shined upon us for a good 2 seconds. And it still got Mike's head running so quickly to the point where when she put her shirt back down, he was like, whoop, see you later, and then ran out the door. Ran out the door. And then that's when James showed up. It took him that long to realize we were trying to solicit his older sister for sexual pleasure. That's what we were trying to do. And we just booked it at the house, and her sister was like, what the fuck, James? So that was the beginning of the summer. That was the first day. So then you flash forward like 3 months, August, all right, not even August, like middle of July. So I come from, I live in Maine. I lived in Maine. I lived in Portland, Maine, it's where I grew up. I came from like a working class family, right? So our sense of humor was a little crass. What we thought was fun, it was a little dangerous. So my grandfather was a cop for a long time. And back in the 60s, he confiscated a brown paper bag full of fireworks from a bunch of delinquents, much like his grandson and his friends. And did he actually get rid of the fireworks, truly confiscate it? No. Did he put them in the evidence room to go along with the police report saying that he took these boys' fireworks? No. Did he keep the fireworks for his own pleasure? Yes. Yes, he did. Did he bring them to my family's 4th of July barbecue that very summer, which is the first time that I heard about this treasure trove of fireworks? Absolutely he did. Did I steal those fireworks from my dad's gun cabinet 2 weeks later and then call up Mike, Joe, and James to go harass suburbia? Absolutely 100% that happened. So we're out there in the middle of the white jungle of suburbia in Maine, and we have this bag of ammunition, and we're just letting it go. We were just going all out with this shit. We put fireworks in trash cans and just lit them off to see what would happen. So we had cherry bombs and jumping jacks, all right? For those who don't know, cherry bombs just make a loud noise. That's it. They just boom. And then that's cool when you're a 12-year-old dude. That's great. That's like the best thing on earth. Jumping jacks go fly into the air and change different colors and shit. And that's even better. So we had both of those. So if you put jumping jacks in a porta potty, it turns the top white part of the porta potty into like different colors. It looks like there's a disco going on in the porta potty. And then when you look inside, it's just burnt. Like there's just burn marks everywhere. So there was this one kid, Bill Query, and he lived in the same neighborhood I did, in the same area. And Bill Query, by all means, was a very nice gentleman. Very nice gentleman. He was he meant well. He wasn't like one of our good friends, but we didn't like hate him. But his mom was a huge bitch. We did not like his mom at all. She ruined a lot of fun for us. And so we wanted to light jumping jacks off of his front yard because we hated his mom. So we were going to do that. We went to go do that. And it was me and Mike. And Mike had it, and I had the lighter. And James and Joe were like a block away, waiting for us. And we snuck up, and we went to light it, and then we threw it, and then we ran down to where James and Joe were, and we waited. Nothing happened. We're like, fuck. It's a Dodge. Shit. We can't just waste these fireworks. They're 40 years old. We're never going to get these ever again. We have to go get it. Like, okay, sure. Like, well, why don't we just relight it? Okay, we can do that too. So we go back to relight it. And we're walking up the house, and we're looking for the fireworks. We're like, fuck, where'd it go? Did you see it? I don't know. And then all of a sudden, Bill Query just flies out of the front door like a bat out of hell. I was like, how do you get over here? We're like, holy shit, and we just run away. And then I go one way, then Mike goes the other way into the woods. Like just straight up into the forest.
That's the best option. That's who I'm going to take down. The guy who runs cross country and went into the forest. 100% great idea. So I'm just bucking it down the street. And I meet up with James and Joe, and they're like, what happened? And I'm like, I don't know. Run! And so we run some more, and then we wait. We're like, hang on, we need to figure this out. And when we stop, we see Bill's mom, Barbara, come out of her house, get into her car, turn the car on, and start gunning it for us. So we're like, shit! And we run into the woods again. So we're going through the forest, and we come out to another street, also in the neighborhood, and we're like, okay, she's not here. Okay, let's just act normal. Let's act normal. Let's calm down. So we collect ourselves. We walk up the street. And so in my neighborhood, there's like this big arterial road called Summit Street, and then there's a bunch of side streets off of that, and they're like cul-de-sacs and dead ends and yada yada. So we walk up one street, and we get on Summit Street. All right, so we're on Summit Street, and we're walking down Summit Street back towards my house. And then there's nobody on the road. It's like 11 o'clock at night in the fucking middle of suburban America. No one's on the road. Except for Barbara. And she is literally circling. She goes up, past us, down one street, back another, up again, past us, down one street, back another. And we're doing this for like a mile. It's just like a weird game we're playing for a whole mile. And we're just walking down the road, and then suddenly a car pulls up next to us, and it's this girl, Kayla. And Kayla's really nice, but she's our age, so there's no way she could be driving. And then in the driver's seat is a 16-year-old girl who is obviously really hot because she's in that special level of 16-year-old girlness, but she also has a car. So she's even super hotter. So we stop and we talk to them. And Kayla's like, what's up, guys? What are you doing? We're like, we're running away. We're fugitives right now. Literally fugitives. She's like, oh, from who? We're like, Barbara Query. And at that moment, Barbara stops her car right there and then gets out and starts walking towards us. And Kayla's like, oh, shit, get in the back. We're like, okay, sure. So we get in the back of the car. And then Barbara gets back into her car, and then we literally go on a low-speed chase through suburbia, going 20 miles an hour, up and down cul-de-sacs and dead ends and backyards, and turning off our headlights and turning them on. And we're in the back seat, and then we get to a road, and my friend and James is like, quick, put on your left blinker and go right. Genius! Genius! So she does, and it works! Somehow it works! And so we're at this road, and it's about time for curfew, and she stops, and we know we lost Barbara, so we're like, let's go! And we get out of the car, and I run home, and I run inside, and my parents are really strict. So I run inside right in time, and normally, when I get back home, they're like, come here. Let me smell your breath. Let me look at your eyes. What did you do? Why didn't you call me? What the fuck happened? Because they were delinquents too. Even more so than I was. So they know everything. But remarkably, this time, they were just like, oh, hey, how's it going? Cool. I was like, you're not going to ask me anything? You're not going to ask me? I'm like, mile a minute heartbeat. Like, you're not going to ask me? Like, no. Glad you had fun. It's like, okay. So I go up into my bedroom, and I just go to bed. Just go to bed. To my chagrin, a half hour later, we get a phone call from a police officer. Officer, I don't remember what his name was, doesn't even matter at this point. Officer such and such, Officer Friendly. He shows up at my front door. All right, and Barbara Query, pinned me. Just like this dude, Matt Rickett, was at my front yard. And so the cop comes up, and I have to try to tell him what happened without actually telling him what happened. So I just lied through my teeth to the police. I'm like, no, we were like, I don't know who was on Barbara's front yard, but I was there. So you were on Barbara's front yard. No, I wasn't on it. I don't know who it was. I was down the street. Why were you down the street, Mr. Rickett? Oh, we were going to a friend's place, but he wasn't home. Why did you go there if he wasn't home? We were checking to see if he was there. All right? And then that thing happened that she talked about, and we just ran because we didn't know what to do, and we were scared. So you were innocent during this, and people started running, so you decided to start running down the street from where this incident happened. Exactly. I don't see how that's unreasonable, officer. That seems completely normal to me. That's completely fine. But he was not believing that. Not buying it. And he gave me what's called a criminal trespass notice, which is where if you're caught again on that person's property, then you're going to jail. They're like, hey, dude, we got you the first time. This means we're really going to fuck you up if you do it again. And after that disintegrated that entire group of friends. It's like the beginning of the summer where it was Sam's boobs and glorious Blockbuster video gift cards to fireworks and cops and then high school again. But, no, that was it. Thank you very much. I'm Matt Rickett.
Matt Rickett, everybody. That concludes We Have a Hammock. I'm going somewhere with this.